Hello and welcome to the Vine Life Podcast. I'm Tony Clark, your host. Today I've got a special guest on the program. Now, my special guest is an amazingly successful Italian-American opera singer. His name is Jonathan Cilia Faro. Now, Jonathan is a self-made artist, producer, actor, and called the most powerful and passionate living voice by Julio Iglesias Jr. Now, Jonathan has a new album coming out very soon. It will be September 15th. And the album is called Romantico. And this album will feature 16 of the greatest love songs of all time. The album highlights his distinctive fusion with opera and pop. Also on November 12th, coming up here before you know it, Jonathan will be performing with Brad Stein for the Spirit of America show at the Fisher Center with special guest Gary Chapman. And for those listening on podcast only, you can find out more about Jonathan by going to his website, and that's jonathancf.com. And Jonathan is Jon. So jonathancf.com. You can find out more about Jonathan and all of the things that he's involved with. But without further ado, Jonathan, thank you so much for being on the program.
It's my pleasure, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I know that our time is short today, so I want to jump in, Jonathan, to the brand new album that you're going to be releasing here in just a few days on September 15th.
Yes.
It's called Romantico. Tell me about this album.
This album is a decision I took after decades because I started my journey in Italy, where I born, and I used to live in other countries like France, Spain, UK, Germany, Argentina, and from each country I took one song, something I'm gonna remember forever. Now I'm celebrating my 42 years birthday, so I'm thinking how I can do this, and with my wife, she also my consigliera in this stuff, say, why you don't put together the most successful 16 songs always you performing to your concerts? And we start to work last year with my team, and we produced this album in six people around the globe, so everyone for one specific language or style or genre. And we went to Bulgaria to record the orchestra, and I put together all the childhood songs talking about the love story movie, Godfather, all the French artists, Charles Aznavour, and then Julio Iglesias, Bésame Mucho. So it became not only a multi-language album, but also a very romantic. And the other day I was tell some TV host, I say, it's great time. If you're planning to have babies, this is the perfect album to listen.
Now, it's my understanding, Jonathan, that Elvis Presley is a possible influence on this album. Can you elaborate?
Yes. Elvis, in Italy, all the Elvis music came to Italy was Can't Help Fall in Love, was O Sole Mio, It's Now or Never. So all the romantic, the sex symbols of Elvis. But I never saw Elvis as a feminizer. I saw him as a, listen, dude, learn from Elvis how to be a gentleman. You know? So, and I remember I was very young. I saw the first video from Las Vegas from Elvis. He was kissing every woman in the audience. So can you imagine, I'm a teenager, I'm full of hormones, and I see, okay, that is a good, cool job to do it, you know, is the funny part. But in reality, musically, Elvis was the first rock star putting a lot of instrument in the rock music, brass, strings, and he was a big fan of Luciano Pavarotti. He say himself during the first time he performed It's Now or Never. So one day I told, okay, if I never become good enough, I want to follow this kind of route Elvis did before me, because he's a gentleman way to do music. It's a very charming, it's very manly, and I like this. So this is why Elvis influenced me a lot.
Jonathan, watching some of your performances, you have an amazing voice, and in your description it says that you're self-taught. Is that correct? That you taught yourself how to sing, or how did that come about? How did you decide that you wanted to be an opera singer?
Okay, in reality, who told me I can sing was a nun in an orphanage. So she discovered music was the activity to help me to be more happy, less depressed, and more involved in society. Then, of course, the talent need to be the bottom of our job, because that is the instrument himself. So I had a few private lesson when I was teenager, and then I start to self practice myself. I'm very disciplined guy, so when I take a focus, I go all through. And in the course of my life, I went to music college, but not to become better, but just to learn how to don't hurt myself, how to read music, how to produce music. It was more education was for me about the business side and never about the talent, because sometimes the people become somebody else prodigy. Usually the teacher try to leave the imprinting on their own students. So I know how do my job because I have this talent, but also I try to use the wisdom of many others masters to manage my talent.
Jonathan, talk about some of your early influences. You mentioned Elvis Presley. Can you mention a few more that really influenced you as a child or as a young man and really prompted you to sing?
Luciano Pavarotti is the number one big name people recognize. Then I will say Franco Corelli is another very important tenor. And today, if I need to be honest, the really one pushed my career more up was Nicola Martinucci. He's very important opera singer in Italy. I know the daughter, Leila Martinucci. She's amazing too, like her father. But Nicola was the last teacher I got in my life. I think I was 25, and I had a master class with him. Sometimes master class is the one really skyrocket your career, because they give you the missing link to get better. And Nicola Martinucci is all opera singers. They always teach me good stuff, power, projection, and most of all, endurance. That were people missing, because to be an opera singer require a lot of energy and discipline.
Energy and discipline, and I think you've got plenty of discipline. It's very obvious. Jonathan, there are a lot of folks that want to get into performing, whether it's opera, different types of music genres, or what have you. How would you encourage them to be at the top of their game in what they do? What type of encouragement would you have for a young artist?
I suggest to everyone to become master of their craft, become the best they can be. It's like be an athlete. One person do sports, he just focused to become the best of everybody else. There's no shortcuts, because in music even worse. The shortcuts in music means 1 year of career, 2 years, and then disappear forever. And then you need to reinvent yourself to do something else if it doesn't work. So music is the same thing. Quality is the secret of music success. Because maybe you will not get reward in the first 2-3 years of career. I didn't see a penny until the first 10 years of a career. But then I start to understand that people remember my name, start to follow me, and stick with me. So that is my best advice. And that that it will be the story I will tell to my show in Nashville on the 12th of November.
Let's talk about that. You're performing with Brad Stein for the Spirit of America show. Talk about that. Talk about Brad Stein. What are you going to be doing in this performance?
Okay, Brad Stein is the reason why I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, by the way. He's the man who, during pandemic, convinced me to move to Nashville, Tennessee, and he was successful. Brad Stein remind me a lot George Carlin, but in a clean version of a comedy. I like because Brad believe in what he says. He's not just blow hair from his mouth. He's really he lives where he believes. And together, I will tell the story of my legal immigration. We'll talk about culture, and thanks to his comedy, we will make everything more pleasant, funny, and fun. And we have a special guest who's gonna be the, let's say, the glue between me and Brad is Gary Chapman. I grew up with Gary Chapman music. I loved what he did. One of the reason I love gospel music because of Gary was the time where Michael W. Smith and Gary Chapman, they were big in Italy, and they bring all the gospel music came to Europe. And thanks to Brad Stein introduced me Gary, and we become friends, and we believe in what we do. We believe in America, red, white, and blue. We believe in union, to be united states of America. We believe in this wonderful nation. I love America. I'm fight for, and I'm very proud to be an American. I'm very proud to tell everyone through our show we're the best nation in the world. Not in an arrogant way, but in the humble way. We build our society. We are very successful because we are the only nation blend all the culture in the world in one nation.
I'm curious, Jonathan, are there major differences between living in Italy and living in Tennessee?
Oh, yes, man. It's like fried chicken, and lasagna, pizza. No, but this is the joke I'm using. But basically, Italy is, after millions, 1,000 years, is very easygoing. They're not, they're very gathering together. And Italy is a whole country, okay? Nashville Tennessee is just be discovered 3 years ago. 3 years ago was a country state. Now it's becoming a cosmopolitan, busy town. Look at just the highway. I don't know where you live in Nashville, or if you live in Nashville, but at 5 p.m. in the afternoon, the 65 look to me like New York City or Las Vegas or Los Angeles, by the way. So, but in Italy, just to go more specific, in Italy, there's a lot of chill out mode. Is more people town. You know, it's more, every town is a distance 20 miles each other, and every 10 kilometers you change dialect, you change food. It's more easygoing in that manners. It's very fun to visit. It's not great to live in it right now because the politics is very bad, but it's the most beautiful open museum, open sky, you know, open under the sky. Tennessee is, I like it because it's very country, very spaceful, and I love the climb. I love everything about Nashville.
Well, it's obvious, Jonathan, for your love for not only your home country but this country as well, and I think more people need to hear that. And on November 12th, you know, you're performing with Brad Stein, the Spirit of America show. I just encourage folks to go see it, and also to purchase your new album, which is coming out September 15th. It's called Romantico. Is that correct?
Yes, Romantico, and a lot of songs of Romantico will be to the live show, so I will use that songs because everything we do is connected. Is a storyline. We'll tell our story. Why a comedian, a country rock music, and an opera singer, they gather together to have fun in the most beautiful theater in Nashville, Tennessee, the Fisher Center.
Well, I can't wait for that. And I just encourage folks to attend that, purchase the tickets, and buy the album. And again, you can find out more information about Jonathan at jonathancf.com, and that's Jon, jonathancf.com. Jonathan, anything else you want to add about your upcoming agenda, about your calendar, what you're going to be doing?
A lot is going on, and I cannot remember everything because my wife is not with me. Without her, I cannot even tie my own shoes. But I want to tell you this. Follow up our social media, because every day we publish what's going on in our schedule. So, and God bless America, because that we need a lot. And please come to the show. We're going to be there to make you laugh. And you can bring all your family, because this is a show for family. We want to bring back the family together. We want to have a show all inclusive. Everybody can be included and feel like home.
Absolutely. And Jonathan, I can't thank you enough for coming on the program today. I will ask you to stay on 30 seconds past the interview just to make sure everything uploads correctly. But Jonathan, thank you so much for coming on and telling us about what you do.
My pleasure, and have a great day, all of you, okay?
Absolutely. And until next time.